The descent and redemption of Oren Fa'al. Entry into Anlia. Oren Fa'al arrived in Anlia with no understanding of its rules. The center was open to him, offering 16 doors leading to various social environment capsules, SECs, but he was not interested in laws. He saw only possibilities, limitless technology, freedom from oversight, and the promise of a system where he could carve his own path. It didn't take long for his impulses to betray him. Breaking every law, Oren started small, speech. He tested the boundaries, slurring, cursing, and shouting obscenities. In the safe SEC, his words turned to buzzing noise. In the holding SEE, his mask muffled them before they reached the air. Frustrated, he left for the penal SEC for speech, where nothing was filtered. His voice was his own, but now he had sealed his fate, banished from all SECs that restricted speech. Next came drugs. He wanted to see if he could beat the system. The patches on his suit could deliver neurotransmitters instantly, and he indulged. Within moments, his ARS detected the change. A notification flashed. You are now restricted from all SECs that ban drug use. The more he used, the longer his exile lasted. But Oren didn't stop there. He entered a normal SEC and deliberately lunged at someone. An experiment. The ARS stiffened, stopping his movement. He expected to be frozen indefinitely, but instead, the system made a decision for him. His vision blurred as he was forcefully ejected. His device locked. He had lost access to all SECs that did not allow violence. The pit Oren had broken every rule. Every action had sent him deeper, until there was only one place left. The pit. The penal SEC with no banishment and no restraint, a lawless void of those like him, cast out from structured society. The pit was a place of permanent exile. There were no restraints, no banishments, only the endless presence of others who had chosen, like him, to break everything. Here, violence was unrestricted. Speech had no consequences. Drugs were available in any form. Food could be printed in any state. Though the ARS still prevented lethal consumption, nothing was off limits, and yet nothing was satisfying. The realization struck him. He had become trapped in the very freedom he sought. There was no way out unless he could undo what had been done. The climb back, Oren checked his wrist. His DTOT VMOT tracker was active. There was a way back, but only through discipline. 3 one-month terms. 3 3-month terms. 3 3-year terms. Each required absolute adherence. Any violation reset his progress. His first trial, violence. He had to resist every provocation in a place designed to provoke. A man bumped into him, he let it pass. Someone shouted in his face, he stayed silent. His ARS monitored his movements, tracking each near break. After a month, the counter ticked down. 1 month complete. The months stretched into years. He controlled his speech, choosing words carefully, resisting slurs, speaking only when necessary. He ignored the drug patches in his suit, keeping his neurotransmitter levels neutral. He watched as others fell back, losing their streaks, resetting their terms. By the time he reached the 3-year terms, his mind had changed. He no longer resisted just to leave. He resisted because he understood. Freedom without balance was a cage. Return to the center. 12 years had passed since Oren Fall entered the pit. He stood at the final threshold, his last moment of restraint before the system released him. Then the notification appeared. Your DTOT VMOT is clear. Access to all SEs restored. His body felt lighter. His ARS, once a suffocating presence, now felt like an extension of himself. His device unlocked, and for the first time in over a decade, he saw the option that had long been grayed out, return to center. With a deep breath, he selected it. The world around him dissolved, and he stood once more at the crossroads of Anlia. 16 doors stretched before him, but this time he did not rush to choose. He had learned the system. He had learned himself. Oren Fayal did not walk into the penality. He did not seek loopholes. He stepped into the structured society he once ignored, knowing now that balance, not chaos, was the key to survival.